Hey there, welcome to another Britt Bridges episode. My name's Ed Dunsavage, and today I'll be talking about comping in a rhythm section, in a jazz rhythm section. So what I did there was played a little bit of the standard Duke Ellington's Take the A Train, Duke Ellington and Billy Strayhorn, Take the A Train, which is a standard that most of you probably have heard or are familiar with if not haven't played. And so what I'll be talking about today is approaches for playing a rhythm section for guitarists, pianists, and for all instruments, really, if you want to listen to what I'm doing here. So one of the first things that we think about as far as guitar comping is short for accompaniment, is keeping time. And that's how the guitar's role really started, was keeping time. If you listen back to some early great Duke Ellington band and Count Basie had a guitarist named Freddie Green who just what they do called chomping, just four to the bar, that type of thing. And for like in the Count Basie orchestra, that really laid down the foundation. But there's all kinds of different approaches to comping. So that's kind of the four to the bar, the Freddie Green style, as they call it. If you want to look up Freddie Green, he never took a solo in the Count Basie orchestra. He always just played rhythm, and oftentimes he only played 3-note chords and 2-note chords. Guitar players, you don't need the big bar chords in this kind of music. I mostly play 4-note, 3-note, and sometimes even just 2 notes will do the job. And so what I thought I'd do is demonstrate a couple of different approaches and talk a little bit about it. So I'm going to play a track to play along with, and I'll demonstrate a couple of different approaches. So the first will be kind of this straight ahead, four to the bar. And then another approach that's when you're getting into playing different rhythms is called the Charleston Rhythm. And it's kind of like a syncopated rhythm. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. If the bass and the piano or anything else was going. So I'll demonstrate that along with this rhythm track that I'm So here's Duke Ellington's Take the A Train, and I'll demonstrate several different approaches to comping on top of that. Here we go. Charleston Rhythm. So as you can see, what I was doing was starting out just playing kind of straight rhythms for you, and then mixing it up with the Charleston Rhythm. But then I was, kind of mixing and matching different things, and that's what really makes it interesting, is to, listen to a lot of this music and get ideas to do variations of your own to whatever tunes. So, there's different elements for piano players and for guitar players especially, and anybody if you're playing vibraphone, in terms of knowing your chord inversions, really important. I was mainly kind of keeping up in this area of the neck, so I was playing kind of a C6/9 instead of a C major 7, but you could play. So knowing your inversions, and what I mean is, playing on the different sets of strings, and being able to move it around like that. So you could play. So for guitar players, I'm playing on different sets of the strings. So I'm playing C major here, I should say. And then knowing, so like that second chord on Take the A Train is an altered D7th chord. So you might know a D7th chord like that, but it's kind of a D7 sharp 4 or flat 5. So a different sound. So that's really important, is to get to know those shapes. If you're playing jazz, again, one thing that I've noticed going into high schools over the years is a lot of the guitar players are kind of playing, like bar chords. So it's a C major 7th, they're playing a bar chord, and you want to learn your major 7ths, your minor 7ths, your dominant 7ths, and different shapes. So and again, depending on which size ensemble you're playing on, if you're playing with a piano player, you want to be able to play in different inversions. So if I had a piano player or a vibes player, I might be keeping it more on the high 4 strings, especially with a bass player. A couple of other things I was doing was, you'll notice I was kind of going. There's a technique in jazz they call upper neighbor, lower neighbor. So basically sliding in, I'm playing C major, going down a half step and back up to that. So instead of just playing, you can get away with. That's a nice technique, that upper neighbor, lower thing. You can use that all the time, leading into a chord from a half step above. So I'm going from F sharp to F major. Going back and forth, up and down. So those are, these are all techniques that you can mess with and play around with. And it's nice to be able to throw a bunch of things in within a tune, so you're not just playing the same thing all the time. And again, if you're interested in this, also listen to, particularly for guitar players, listening to the great Django Reinhardt and his Hot Club. They have 3 guitars, bass and violin, Stefan Grappelli on violin, and much of the rhythm is, they were trying to insinuate a big band with guitars. And so they did a certain type of rhythm. It's very much like that 4 to the bar, but there's kind of a upbeat in there too, where they're going kind of muting the strings. It's a whole different technique. It's a whole different ball of wax to study. But another great thing to listen to if you want to get into some really good rhythm guitar. I love playing rhythm guitar. I love playing solo guitar with melody and chords and all, chord melody guitar, but playing rhythm, whether it's just behind a singer or a horn player or in a full band, is a lot of fun. You can get real creative with it. So I hope this was of interest to you, and hopefully we'll get to do some more. And we'll be doing a video chat the end of January, so if you have any questions, you could ask then. So thanks a lot and have a great day.